This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 2 motorcyclists killed in Westmoreland crash. 2 motorcyclists are dead as a result of injuries they sustained in a motor vehicle crash on Retreat Main Road in Negril, Westmoreland moments ago. The identities of the men are not yet known. The police's corporate communications unit confirmed the incident with the news on Tuesday afternoon. Preliminary reports are that the men were riding on their motorcycles when they were mowed down by a vehicle. The men are believed to have been killed on the spot. More information to come. Jamaican fatally stabbed in St. Kitts. A probe is ongoing into the suspected stabbing death of a Jamaican man during an altercation at Carter Path, Sandy Point in St. Kitts and Nevis on the weekend. The deceased has been identified as 36-year-old Okina Wellington. According to reports from WINN FM in St. Kitts, the incident occurred before 12 p.m. on Saturday, September 17. The Royal St. Christopher and the Nevis Police Force said it received a report shortly after that a man was injured during an altercation. On their arrival at the scene, Wellington's body was found on the floor of a house with a chest wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene by a medical officer. An individual has since been taken into police custody and is assisting with the murder probe. Jamaican man among 4 arrested in Nigerian drug bust. A Jamaican is among 4 persons arrested in connection with what has been described as the biggest cocaine bust in Nigeria's history. According to media reports in Nigeria, 42-year-old Kevin Smith, who is from Kingston, was held during a 2-day operation. The other 3 individuals are from Nigeria and are said to be members of a drug cartel. The cocaine was found in 10 traveling bags and 13 drums. Nigeria's Anti-Narcotics Department, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, announced on Monday that the U.S. $278 million drug bust at a large warehouse in an estate in the I-Corridor area of Lagos. NDLEA spokesman Femi Bafafimi said agents found about 1.8 tons of the illicit drug. Mr. Babafimi said the Jamaican and the warehouse manager were arrested in an intelligence-led operation that lasted 2 days across several locations in Lagos. Mr. Babafimi disclosed that the 4 persons arrested are members of an international drug syndicate that the NDLEA has been trailing since 2018. They were nabbed at hotels and their hideouts in different parts of Lagos Sunday night and Monday. Mr. Babafimi reported that the cartel was trying to sell the cocaine to buyers in Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world. Brayton Primary mourns the death of 3rd-grade teacher. The Brayton Primary and Infant School community has been plunged into mourning following the passing of a beloved 3rd-grade teacher. Desiree Stair, 48, died suddenly on Friday evening at hospital, sending shockwaves throughout the school community. She did not report that she wasn't well at school, neither did she show any signs of not feeling well. She taught her class throughout the day on Thursday, so it was a big shock when we heard that she passed, Carlene Robinson Allen, principal of Brayton Primary and Infant School, said. Stair was said to have been a dedicated educator at the institution for over 10 years. The Ministry of Education Trauma Unit came, and we had principals, guidance counselors, and the members of the school chapel who came to administer grief counseling to the teachers, Robinson Allen disclosed. The school had a population of over 300 students. She woke up and reported that she wasn't feeling well to her family. She suffers from hypertension, and by the time she got to the hospital, she was pronounced dead, the principal said. She was such a caring and a vibrant teacher, only God can come and explain to us why and what actually happened. With the start of the school year, teachers have been facing increased pressures. Stair is among at least 3 teachers who died suddenly over the weekend. Petersfield High School in Westmoreland was plunged into mourning following the passing of its modern languages teacher, Charmaine James, while St. Jago High School is also in mourning following the death of Desiree Campbell, a history and a sociology teacher at the St. Catherine School. We are back face to face, and we are trying to bridge the learning gap and trying to get our students up to par and to see how much we can add value. With COVID, many of my students weren't online because they had no access to a device or no connectivity, and the issue challenges continue, Robinson Allen said. We have been doing diagnostic assessments to see where they are in terms of reading and assessing their competency level in reading and mathematics so we can chart the way forward with intervention for these kids. Jamaican accused of traveling to Florida to have sex with a 14-year-old. A 31-year-old Jamaican was arrested in Pensacola, Florida, after he allegedly traveled to engage in sexual activities with an undercover police agent posing as a 14-year-old. Taj Gavri Samuels, a resident of Kingston, Jamaica, is charged with 1 count of traveling to meet a minor to engage in sexual conduct, 7 counts of transmission of harmful material to minors, and 1 count of using a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony. The charges were outlined in a press release issued on Monday by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement agents. It was reported that FDLE commenced the probe in August when Samuels initiated online contact with undercover agents posing as a 14-year-old female, the release informed. Samuels sent lewd photos of himself by using a common messenger application and made arrangements to meet the agent posing as the minor. The Jamaican is being held in Escambia County Jail without a bond. Bishop says Chang should resign over desperate shoot-to-kill comments. Presiding Bishop of the Christian Holiness Church in Jamaica, Dr. Alvin Bailey, says National Security Minister Dr. Harris Chang's shoot-to-kill statement is a sign of desperation and he should resign. In a release on Tuesday, Bailey said that the statement is consistent with Chang's continued poor performance and the lack of policies to fight crime and violence. It is very clear that he cannot manage the portfolio, so the decent thing to do is resign or the Prime Minister should reassign him to another post, said Bailey. At this time in our society, with calculated, brutal and senseless killings, our constituted authorities cannot advance policies that promote the current rapidly evolving culture of disregard for law and order, he continued. Bailey had made similar calls for Chang to resign in January, citing the country's crime wave. In his latest statement, Bailey stressed that persons in government cannot allow the unabated trend of crime and violence to cause them to become irrational in speech or in the execution of their responsibilities. He is urging the government to resume engagement with stakeholders on crime and violence and to consider implementing plans proposed by the Crime Monitoring Oversight Committee. He is also suggesting that a consultative commission comprising retired high-ranking police officers and judges be established. Speaking in Westmoreland last week, Chang urged the members of the security forces to shoot to kill when confronted by armed gunmen, noting that the country was spending too much to treat criminals at public health facilities. The statements have been condemned by human rights groups and the Independent Commission of Investigations. Some JLP supporters staged another protest against the MP Marcia Smith. Scores of people protested at the constituency office in St. Anne Northeast on Tuesday, calling for the removal of Member of Parliament Marcia Smith. The residents claim that the MP has not been responding to concerns in the constituency. The Jamaica Labour Party supporters are upset too after an office worker was relieved of her duties last week. The supporters decry the move, telling the news that the worker had given 40 years worth of hard work, sweat and tears to the office.
We have a lady that works at the office, the Labour office in St. Anne's Bay for 40 years, Mr. Vanny, and Fabian. And now she wants to get rid of him. She's going to serve Miss Vanny notice to leave the office. 40 years worth of hard work, sweat and tears with Shiny Robinson. Miss Robbie that walk with us, Miss Vanny that walk with us through storm, rain, sun, Fabian also, that farmer, the people them that help us to go on the farmer, she want to get rid of them. That cannot happen. We have an MP right now, she don't even know the people them. We have more than 6 to 10 houses burned out in that constituency and she don't come to represent one of them. We don't know her, she don't know us.
Hurricane Fiona strengthens and threatens parts of the Caribbean. U.S. forecasters say Hurricane Fiona is continuing to strengthen, threatening lives in parts of the Caribbean. Hurricane Fiona reached a Category 3 strength as the storm brought a flash flooding and heavy rainfall to the Dominican Republic. The National Hurricane Center said that the storm could worsen to a Category 4, the second highest designation. At a 2 p.m. advisory, Fiona was 30 miles north-northwest of North Caicos Islands and 810 miles south-southwest of Bermuda. The storm had maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour and was moving north-northwest at 9 miles per hour. On the forecast track, the center of Fiona will continue to move near the eastern Turks and the Caicos Islands during the next few hours, away from those islands by Wednesday, and approach Bermuda late on Thursday. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.